No, I have determined from watching this film that before now, anytime anybody asked me how was anything, I would always go, it sucked, oh, it wasn't very good. Now my new thing is, it was very nice, thank you. I never could accept, what is it called? I never could accept a compliment in my life, and I was always embarrassed by them. And so now I'm going to learn to accept a compliment, and when anybody asks me from now on, like I said, it was very good, it was nice, thank you. And so that's my new, because I had no idea that that's what I did until I watched this. And the first time I saw it, I kept going, well, do I ever like it? And I'm looking at it and going, well, I didn't like that one. I remember that when we were doing it, when I kicked the trash can, I don't remember why I kicked the trash. I know something happened. The song you didn't see was on Rock and Roll Dreams. And I think what happened is I go for this real high note at the end, and I didn't make it, and I didn't hit it, and it really made me mad. And it was like I was coming right off stage at that point, and I just kicked the trash can. But what's interesting is that I will never, like anybody in the band could make 100 mistakes. And I would just walk up to him and go, it's okay, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You got a whole bunch more chords to play. Don't worry about this. And so I don't care if they make mistakes. I expect them. But if I make a mistake, it's the end of the world. I'll never live it down. And I go home and I fret over it, not only for hours, but for years. It's like when I was here in Dallas in 1996, I was really sick. And I've hated that show from that moment till now. And the other thing, I know you saw me in the thing wearing the Philip Rivers jersey from San Diego. It's not that I like Philip Rivers. It was a matter of vanity, because I thought that jersey looked really good on me. I really wanted a Cowboys jersey because I grew up in Dallas, and I was at the very first Cowboys game ever in 1962.
Wow.
Sitting in the end zone out at the Cotton Bowl with Eddie LeBaron as the quarterback. I don't know how many of you know Eddie LeBaron, but he was about this big. And there's a crowd, like they went steaks. So the first guy said, well, I want mine rare. The second guy says, I want mine rare with blood on the plate. And the third guy goes, I want mine stuck on the fire, turned over once, turned over twice, and put on a plate. And they looked at Eddie LeBaron, who's about this big, and he goes, all I want you to do is I want you just to run the cow by and I'll grab a hunk off. That's my Eddie LeBaron story. I like Eddie LeBaron. And so, anyway, and especially I'm so glad we have Derek Jeter in our band. And Chasm will never live that down. See, we since this has been out, we haven't been back on the road, and we go back into rehearsals in June, and I cannot wait for everybody to go, oh, so you're the Derek Jeter. But anybody got any questions for me? Oh, go ahead, right there, in the middle.
Do you still have that wonderful wig, and you put it on once in a while just to look at yourself?
No, I never fly. We still have it in the wardrobe case. I'm hoping that it's really moldy by now. You know what? I was sitting back there, and I know we're going back out, and I'm looking at that wig at the end, and I'm going, will I wear that on this? And I'm thinking, okay, I'll have to come off stage and I have to put it on, and I don't know. So I don't know. Yes, dear. Hi. Okay.
The only thing I have to say, first of all.
Okay, the only thing, for those of you in the back that are hard of hearing, the only thing she has to say.
The only thing to say about any of that is that I actually had a ticket to your first show in New York. and couldn't make it to the second, but it was wonderful.
What are you talking about? Okay, for those, she said I had tickets to your first show in New York, and now I had tickets to the second show. I have no idea what she's talking about. Which show? You
The
mean?
first show that was canceled, I flew to New York.
Oh, at the Garden.
Canceled, yes, and we didn't get to go back, and I was devastated because I
Well, I went back.
Love you.
I went back.
I didn't get to go back, but.
Why not? She didn't get to go back, and I'm asking why. Which guy?
Right here.
This guy. The one that
What are you,
he
cheating?
pays with us. Anyway, so
You're the
my
only man
question
that
is.
she'd
Yes.
leave me for.
My, yes.
She said you're the only man she'd leave me for. For on
I
her
missed
birthday.
it.
Some of
She
New York.
has really good taste.
Which of the three bad out of hell is your personal favorite?
Which of the three Bat Out of Hells is my personal favorite? I don't really have. Hello?
Say that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know that I really have a personal favorite. I think they're all really good. I really like Batman, but that has a life of its own, and it really belongs to the people that have bought it. It doesn't belong to me. It's got some weird name on the front of it. But just before I go on, you have no idea what it's like walking around having the name Meat Loaf. You have no conception of that. People go, what do I call you? You have a brother? Yes. What do you call him? Tom. Okay, that's fine. So I just go, you call me Meat. And then I got another little story. I was playing golf. There's a baseball player, a very famous baseball player, used to play for the Angels, Los Angeles Angels, and went to play for the Yankees for a little bit, by the name of Chili Davis. And I was at a golf tournament in Arizona, and it was the day before the tournament, and we were playing a practice round. So I'm with Chili Davis and a couple other guys, and we get to the fourth hole, and I'm keeping score, and I look up and I go, Chuck, what'd you have? 4. Frank, yeah, okay. 3. Chili, yeah, okay. Meat. So it was true story. Chili, Chuck, Frank, and Meat. So I've always said since then, just call me Meat. Just think of me in the Stu, Chuck, and Frank family. Rufus?
Yes. He was.
Who in the hell's Rufus?
He used to wear what?
Midnight Special. The only thing the only time I was ever on Midnight Special was Todd Rundgren was on, and we were trying to get on, but Don Kirshner was the producer, and Don Kirshner had gotten really angry with me in 1973 because he was doing a series with a guy named Norman Lear, who was the producer of All in the Family, and I wanted to do the series. But Don Kirshner wanted to own us like he did the Monkees, and I said no. So he got really mad, and he had Don Kirshner's rock concert, which we eventually got on. But he also was co-producer of Midnight Special, and this was only 3 years later, and he would not let us on Midnight Special. So when Todd Rundgren was hosting Midnight Special, he got the video of Bat Out of Hell on Midnight Special. And that was great, right? And I remember it was after a show in Washington, D.C., and we're all gathered around the TV, and it starts, and they've edited the beginning, but that's okay. And it gets into the second part of the song, I'm going to hit the highway like a battering ram, and the tape goes, and I'm going, oh God! And then it keeps going, and it comes back to speed, and it plays, and they've edited it again. And then they get to the part in the song where it goes, I'll never see the sudden curve till it's way too late. And then there's a little break, and it comes back, or it comes back, and then I'm dying at the bottom of the pit. Well, they got to that point in the show where I'll never see the sudden curve till it's way too late. Cut. And there's a woman with blonde hair going, and it goes, Clairol. I had a nervous breakdown at that point. And since that moment, I refused to buy Clairol products. Way back there.
Because I'm a
big guy too.
I'm going to stand up because I'm a big guy too, he said. Go ahead.
I sing your music at karaoke. I understand your pain. With
You know karaoke is devil worship, don't you? What?
Everybody knows me at karaoke as Toad.
Toad.
As what?
Toad. On Toad.
Toad?
Toad.
Ode? Toad. Toad.
Ribbit.
Toad.
That's how
You know, that's worse than meat.
But the movie was awesome.
Thank you very much.
It gives you an insight of what touring's like. It's something I've always wanted to do. Because I write.
No, you don't.
But
I mean, you know, how old are you?
35, sir.
Nah, you don't want to go. If you were 22, 23, I would say, yeah, you want to go on tour. Because that, you know, it's like it doesn't make any difference. You can be in a station. Well, when I first started in the 60s, I started in Michigan, and we drove. I was the roadie, the light guy, and we had a 59 Buick, a red 59 Buick, and a U-Haul trailer on the back. And I wouldn't let anybody touch the equipment. I set up all the equipment, set up all the amps, set up the drums, and we had what they call a Shure kind of a Sun. It was Sun PA, and it's set on these little poles, and it's set up there. And I worked we didn't have monitors, and I would go to the audience. Can you hear? And they'd go, oh, well, we don't hear the guitar. Okay, thanks. And we turned the guitar up, and the lights. We had two little stands with 4 lights on each side, and I had 4 pedals on the floor with different colors. They were like red, green, blue, and something else. And as the show would progress, I'd reach down and put my foot on the buttons and to change the light. So I would sing and do this. So that's how I got my style right there. What's your question? I just gave you an answer.
The question is, can I work with you someday?
Are you a doctor? Because that's the only thing I need all the time.
I have a rare brain tumor that causes me to be this large. I have the same illness Andre the Giant had.
Really?
And
Have you thought about going into wrestling?
No, I'd rather be in music.
What?
I'd rather be in music.
Do you know I met Andre the Giant? I actually had dinner with Andre. It's a true story. I had dinner with Andre the Giant. The man ate 5 whole chickens. I swear to God, I've never seen anything like it in my life. I hope you're okay with the brain tumor. And you do have a brain tumor. You have headaches or?
I did. I had brain surgery once. I'm on a daily shot.
You let somebody open up your head? You had brain surgery. Whoa.
But you've inspired me, given me a lot of.
I inspired you to have brain surgery?
To be outgoing and just say, hell with it.
Yeah, there you go, baby. Hell with it. Yeah. All right, right there. You're close to my age, so.